Today we are going to make tomato jelly. The first thing we did was measure out 6 cups of tomato juice. To this tomato juice we are going to add, let me get a whisk. We are going to add 3/4 cup lemon juice. We're going to heat this until it's just boiling. Now that our juices are boiling, we're going to add the pectin. And we're going to do it slowly as we stir, and that way we do not get lumps of pectin. After we've done that, we're going to stir in 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. Make sure that's all mixed up well. And we're going to add 9 cups of sugar. Some people like a sweet tomato gravy for like toast in the morning. We like ours savory for meats in the evening. So if you like yours sweet with toast, you can always add cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves instead of the savory seasonings. Once you have all the sugar in, make sure you stir it so that it doesn't stick to the bottom and burn. You're going to bring this back to a boil, and you're going to boil it for 1.5 minutes. And it should not take long to bring back to a boil. While I'm waiting on this to boil, I'm going to melt the wax. In order to melt the wax, we're going to use a double boiler. Because I cannot find mine today, we're going to improvise. We have a pot on the bottom with water just touching the bottom of the top pan. This is golf wax. You just take your bars of wax and place them in the pan. I'm going to start with 2. Actually, I'm going to start with 3. And I'm going to melt these on a double boiler because we're not going to seal this the traditional way. We're going to use wax on top of it to seal it. It's boiling now. Now we have to let it boil for 1.5 minutes. I'm going to try to keep it from overfilling or overflowing onto my stove. Okay, so now that it has boiled for 1.5 minutes, we will take it and fill our jars. We've already gotten our jars sterilized. I'm going to let this sit for a minute and let the foam kind of die down a bit while the wax melts. Looking at this, I don't think the 3 blocks is going to be enough, so I'm going to go ahead and throw the other block in there and melt it. And you have to be careful splashing that wax up on you. It is hot. We've already sterilized our jars, so we're just going to turn these up. We're going to fill these within about a half an inch from the top. When we put our wax in, we put our wax in an eighth of an inch. While the jars are hot, while the jelly is hot. And then when the jelly has cooled and the wax is set, we would put another eighth of an inch of wax on top of it. These funnels are nice and handy. Okay, now that we have our jelly in our jars, we filled all of those and we have one left that we put a seal on. This one's going to be for us. We're going to put it in the refrigerator and eat it for dinner tonight. Now what you want to do is take your ladle that I washed, eighth of an inch of wax on top of the jellies. Careful not mixing it in. You just kind of want it to float on the top. And you can see it as you're putting it on there, how much jelly's on there. Oh, one of the steps that I omitted to show you that I did while the camera was off was wiping the top of the jars and the inside so that we have a clean seal with the wax. We don't want our fruit or our jelly to interfere with the seal that we're going to have with our wax. Okay, so all these have about an eighth of an inch seal on top of them right now. We're going to wait for this to cool. And then we're going to come back and put another eighth of an inch of wax on top of it.